Ooh, yeah, new title art. I always put so much effort into everything I do. All right, non-existent audience, it's Skwatter here with another ramble about his game that he's playing. Yeah, so this is a Dynastic hero. And the funny thing is that the main character, who's supposed to be named Shion, he's named Dinah in this game. So what that means is that it's not he's not a hero of a dynasty, right? It's not his dynasty either. It he is of himself. Like it's as if to say squatter stick. Like I am a squatter stick hero, you know? Like have you ever thought about that, Because it's like I just kind of realized that because that's his name, right? Weird. So yeah, no, this is part of the Wonder Boy and Monster World series, or I guess you would just call it Wonder Boy. But it's got a whole, pardon me, still getting over the cold. I know it sticks with me for like a month. Uh, so this game has been completely reskinned for the Turbo Duo, and it's got new cutscenes at the beginning and the end. And I gotta tell you, um, the intro music is kind of femmy, kind of femmy. Doesn't really instill a sense of pride or manliness, or it doesn't really pump your chest out, right? It's kind of just like, huh, this is the kind of song that you'd hear in like one of those Barbie games or something like that. But I guess this is the aesthetic change that they decided, or I guess it'd be more audible than aesthetic. So, yeah, no, for this game, the cheats that I used, I actually had to go back to the Magic Engine forums and get some of the extra codes there, because interestingly enough, they're not on Game Hacking site, which I really honestly think that this is where RetroArch gets all of its cheats from, game hacking. And whenever you update the cheats.zip file or whatever, um, it gets it again from whatever game hacking has done, even though game hacking seems to have sometimes, not always, but sometimes, fewer cheat codes on it than did the original Magic Engine forums. So that's just an interesting quirk there. Leave no stone unturned. So if you're looking for extra codes, try going to the Magic Engine forums and give them a look. New transition there. So what I'm doing with this little ramble here is that I took 15-minute snippets of the game, uh, kept them, and then the next 15-minute snippet I cut out and deleted. So it's keep 15 minutes, cut 15 minutes, keep 15 minutes, cut 15 minutes. So this is what you're going to see when you go from transition to transition. Yes, this is another platforming game that I said that I didn't want to play, but I remember playing it again in my youth. So close the chapter on it, do the ramble on it, get it over with. Um, but yeah, no, I am so bad at these games, man. Like and the funny thing is that the RetroArch cheats that before I went to Magic Engine, it didn't have an infinite health cheat code, right? Like it had a cheat code to give you 8 hearts, um, and it had the infinite gold cheat, and I think that's it, honestly. Um, so I had to go to Magic Engine forums, the place where I used to frequent, and post cheat codes myself. If you see a Skwatta there, Skwatta, again, spelling error there. But if you see me there, I'm either asking for codes or actually posting several of them myself. So I was actually giving back to the community this was a confounding thing. I literally had to look up a video walkthrough to see how to do it. Didn't know that you had to do the switches at different times, but yeah. So the thing that really got me through this was the auto potion cheat, which I had to get from the Magic Engine forums, and because if I didn't have the auto potion cheat, then I would have run out of health and I would have been kicked back to the beginning of the stage, or however it works. I never played the game and died without an auto potion because I didn't want to deal with that shit, you know. So that was definitely a saving grace there. I also had to go to the Magic Engine's forums to get the cheats for infinite uses of the spells there, which also were not included in RetroArch's cheat pack. So, you know, just maybe something the people at RetroArch ought to think about. You know, mine these other places for the cheats. You know, I don't think that anybody's going to copyright them. You know, hell, as few of them as there were, you know, I found some of them, right? So I hereby give everybody permission to use them and distribute them however I wish. You know, I've got a very get on my lawn idea when it comes to figuring out cheats and distributing them. So, but yeah, so and the thing is that everything seemed to be going pretty good. You know, me cheating and me using the save states and everything, but the one thing that really got to me was especially in the winter levels where you're slipping around. Yeah, notice in the magic sub select screen, you'll see that the graphics are glitched, and I said, well, that's what happens when you use the cheats there, so might as well just show it to you with all its warts, as I always say. But yeah, no, so with the winter levels, it was absolutely maddening, like just the slipping around and everything. Like you'd try to platform, you'd try to jump onto different levels, like if especially climbing the mountain and everything, and you'd get hit by an enemy, and then you'd fall backwards, and then you fall off the platform, and I'd constantly have to either reload the save file or use the rewind feature. Like, oh my god, everything. Yeah, and I would say that the best, while different enemies are affected in different ways by different spells, I would say that fire and lightning are probably the best, or thunder or whatever it's called, probably the best spells to use in the game, because they literally, at least lightning, if the enemies are affected by it and they're weak, it clears the entire screen of enemies, so it's not just constantly fighting enemies. Like, because let me tell you, these enemies, they are hard, right? They take like several, like they go from one hit to two hits, big difficulty curve in this game, one hit to two hits, and then later on in the game, some of these characters take probably over 10 or 12 hits, honestly, and these are with good weapons, right? Like, not with your crappy little Gladius or anything. I mean, it's absolutely, it's insane, you know? It's like, they said that this game got a different difficulty level, and boy, yeah, it's not different, it's higher. It's friggin' high as hell, you know? It's higher than Jimi Hendrix, even though his weed of his time only had 2% of the THC that we have. You know, it's funny because, you know, your average pot smoker could definitely smoke Jimi Hendrix under the table, you know, not even think about it, right? Yeah, this is me adding in another cheat code. I'm not sure which one it is because I'm viewing the thing through the world's worst. Oh, this was a fucking pain in the ass. I had to reload a save state for some reason, and I forgot how far I got through in this level. So that was a giant pain in the ass. See, look at that, man. Like, get a load of that shit, right? I mean, it's like whether you're on snow or you're on platforms like this, it's like you'd think that there'd be that they'd forgive you for like not being necessarily on. Like, look at that, man. Like, you're going all over the fucking place. Like, I can't fucking believe this. Yeah. See, yeah, and this is probably where I reload, and then I forgot whether or not I had defeated the boss down there, and that was a giant pain. Like, honestly, see, like this. Look at this. Like I think I must have cut it out honestly, because this was a huge pain in the fucking ass, right? I absolutely cannot stand platforming mechanics when they say that it's icy or slippery or something like that, and you're going around all over the place. It's such an overused trope, and I cannot stand it. Yeah, see, look at this. I have to do it all over again because I reloaded the wrong save state. You know, sometimes sometimes you know the cheats and the save states and everything like that, sometimes they're not necessarily the positive boon that you'd think they'd be. But yeah, no, this was probably the most white knuckling part of the game, honestly. Like man, my heartbeat and my blood pressure must have went sky high during this because I was mad. Man, like this part made me mad, honestly. Like look at that. Dad, 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 over and over and over again. Oh, God. You know, I say that I'm so bad at platforming, and yes, I am. I am so bad at platforming, right? This was also a pain in the ass, right? Like, if you don't fall off of a platform, then it's busy work like this. You know, you keep getting hit backwards and forwards and stuff like that. And again, I have these. I think this is sped up to 5 times faster, right? And so still, you can only imagine just the hell that I went through. You know, it's like cheats. They certainly make it easier. They make it playable, but believe me, I still have a rock hard time playing these games. Honestly, right? Like I could never do a playthrough of this game and have my like commentary being recorded because it would just be a long stream of profanities and like I'd be snarling at the screen, honestly. Like I'd be yelling, snarling, fucking like you'd think that there was an animal in the room. And this, I don't know how to get this chest. I really don't. Like I even watched a video walkthrough at this point, and it's like, how do you get it? Because I saw the guy do it, basically what I was doing there, and I just couldn't get it. Yeah, and then there's this trope here where get you have to magnify your size or uh, demagnify your size. You have to minusculize your size, you know, to get into different places in the world, you know, which I think is just another trope to increase the playtime and stuff. Oh, and these random doors and everything, like that was a pain in the ass. Like how would you ever know to look for something like that, right? Like I mean, you could probably spend hours in the game just moving from like square to square. That is like position of your character, like as wide as your character is, from position as wide as your character is, just going up, 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 up on the D-pad, right? And this destroyed me. I like again, I don't know how. Okay, it looks like I've got a little ways in the of doing this to yeah. Look at this. Look at this. I was thinking like I'm not going to be able to beat this. Like this was the first time that I had used the rewind feature. No, 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 not the rewind feature, the slow motion feature. Oh my god, yes. The slow motion feature was an absolute godsend. It saved my life because I mean, look at this, right? Like I'd be jumping on these platforms, and then they would disappear if you stayed too long, and then you have to defeat the boss again. So then I would load the save state, reload the save state. I keep falling, and then sometimes I'd I would save after I got far, but then I would die and then I'd reload a save state so I'd be further back than where I was before, or I would save the state in a position where I would inevitably fall off and then get kicked back down here. Like, I mean, look at this. Look at this bullshit, right? Like, this is insane. And then the enemies respawn, and then, I was able to make that platform, but then I'd hit the character and then I'd get knocked off, and oh my god, this part of it was an absolute nightmare. And if it wasn't for the slow motion feature, which which it really slows it down. I think it slows it down to three time negative 300% or something. And I'm not even sure if my math is right on that one. Numbers never made sense to me, but yeah, see, it's like I'm just sitting here. I'm just like, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? And then I don't know if it's gonna show in this short little clip here, but I finally just used the slow motion feature here to make my way to the top of this tower here, because it's like I'm not able to do this. I don't have the hand-eye coordination. I don't have the reflexes and everything, and I don't have the patience. And then I think I get up there at one point, and yeah, I get up to the top of that platform there, and I think like, well, do I need to keep going right? And then, I kept jumping and falling and not knowing what to do. So then I was just like, okay, maybe I'll go backwards. And then I'm just like, oh, okay, now I need to get to that little rope hanging thing, and then it kind of glides me across the screen to the top there. And oh man, that part of the game really got to me. Like I felt personally attacked by the game when that happened, right? And then finally, like this is the Drill Core Empire, right? Like this is it. Like what does it have to do? Like they said that all the bad guys would be like natural insect enemies or animals that would predate on insects, and so but it's like what does that have to do with drilling and like destroying the environment, Like that's a little weird. Plus, fairies aren't insects either, so. And I just realized that guy's kind of like a praying mantis, and I never even realized it during the gameplay. But, and that princess lady looks human, or maybe because of her ears, it's weird. I don't know. This is the end of it, and it looks like we're getting to the end of the video, so, I guess I'll say that's it. Yeah, me wondering if there's anything beyond it. So that's been my ramble. Skwatter out. Peace.